All right, architecture students, we are going into different ways to work with the material of paper. Everything in this video will go quickly, so it's intended to give you a brief overview, and you'll need to use the resource poster to really look more closely at how things were done. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to see is a tube. I just take some paper and I roll it around a pencil and I tape it in place. These are really strong and extremely helpful for building anything. The second thing is to make actual tabs. So if you looked closely, I cut with the scissors. I then folded it accordion style, right? So it went zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And then I'm folding the tab so it goes every other one. So one tab this way, one tab this way. That keeps the paper extremely strong. And when I glue it, or in this case I just use tape for the quickness of the video, it holds things in place. If you do just one side, notice I made a little tab to hold the tape in place or to hold the glue, but it doesn't become strong until I do two pieces and then I have to attach them together. To attach a top, you're always going to want a tab. Notice on one side, it's really easy for me to attach the next piece, but on the other side I struggle to get them lined up. Better to have a tab. Now, to support the other side, again, I make a little chunk. I have a tab on the bottom and a tab on the top. Oops, let's move that out of the way so you can see. Now, I want to attach that tube. So what do I use? Tabs! Have you noticed a theme? Everything needs a tab. So always leave yourself enough space so that you can attach, oh, my phone's making noise, a little tab. Once you've done that, I want you to notice that I leave this opening here. You never want to close things off while you're building, because if you can't get your hands inside to support something, then you have no way to hold it while you push in the tape or while you push in the glue. So you notice I put my tape on this first, okay, not on my structure, but on that first, and then I tape everything in place and I have that opening. Once I don't need that opening anymore, again, I make a tab, make another tab on top, and then I attach, and now it's strong. You can also do weird shapes. So pretend I cut all that out, but I had some already done. You're going to cut slits. So where you don't need a tab, you do need a slit. You need two slits to make something work, so they join like this. Notice I have to cut right there to make them both have slits. Then it's time for glue. Very important note on the glue. First off, if the glue doesn't work, it's because there's a little chunk of glue right there. Sometimes you can get it to pop off with your fingers. Sometimes you have to pop it off with the scissors. If you use scissors, do not use the scissors on the orange part. Just on that little teeny tiny chunk of glue. And then you have to do a scissor check. Do I have glue on my scissors? Because that would break our scissors. So you got to clean those blades off if they do. So once you do that, the secret is to know that one dab will do ya, a dot. So I do a dot, and then I wiggle everything around. Then I want to do a dot on each seam. So dot, and then I use the actual glue container. So I did a dot, and then I used the glue container to rub it in. I didn't add more glue. Watch how that goes. Dot, rub it in. See that? Now I have to count to 20 in order to get the glue to stick. Glue will stick better than tape, so it's worth the count to 20. Then I can fold these and mold these, and it lets it be free and loose and open and not as solid as the others. I also can work with curves. So I can cut an arch, fold it around. Notice how I did that? I folded it around, and then I secure it with tape. I then can cut it to the size that I need, again with an arch, and that's how you can build cones. But what if I want pieces that are all the same? Students always ask, how did they build that pyramid? Where they started, or not pyramid, how they build that tower, that Eiffel Tower. They started with building a pyramid, and then they just cut holes in it. So this is where they started. Notice I cut out one triangle, and then I'm going to trace it. Notice how I save paper space through my tracing. I line them up so that they go backwards, and then that's what allows them all to fit. I'm trying to save as much paper as possible. Then I take my 4 pieces, and I'm going to put the tape on the piece first, and then I'm going to secure them together. I probably need a friend to help me because I don't want any space to go in between the pieces. I could do 3 sides, 12 sides, 20 sides, right? The more sides I add, the more round it's going to become. So I'm doing a 4-sided one. On that last piece, you need to put tape on both sides because it needs to attach to both sides. So again, I'm lining it up carefully, and then here's what always makes students sad. They do all that work, and then When they put their tower down, it's not secure. It wibbles and wobbles around. You have to cut out a base. I traced it, I cut it out, and then this is where I definitely need a friend to help hold things while I tape, because it's all going to want to wiggle in on each other. So you're going to hold it very carefully. You let your fingers get inside and underneath that piece. See how I put my finger inside the piece to secure it? And then I do that last little chunk, and now it is strong. Here is the secret with building things with paper, is to realize the basic shape of things, right? So for example, I could turn this into a bird beak, and I could turn this into a bird foot. And so you have to build those small little pieces, nothing bigger than your hand. And as you merge them together, you can get a big, large piece. With that, make sure to ask for help if you need it. Enjoy your building experience. Bye.